As a newly qualified teacher, for me, meeting goals means reaching parents. And you may wonder, what does it say about my school, its parents, or what does it say about myself? And here I dragged on two caricatures. Some of you may relate to one of those. The first one shows a teacher who's there because of the crazy parents, and the other one the other caricature shows how one is fighting off the angry parents. If I have to choose, then I would probably relate myself more with the first picture, although I have to say that in my experience, I haven't really encountered crazy parents or angry wolf families. But as a teacher, I know that I would rather choose to work smart, not hard. And for that reason, I had to explore what can I do? What can I do more to involve parents? And here is the title of my research paper, my diploma paper, and hello to my supervisor, Sandra Kalniņa, she's here. And the research paper was about promoting parental engagement for the Form 1 to 3 year students in the English learning process. Okay. And why? Some of you might ask why to promote the parents' presence. And here I had to quickly squeeze in a general facts file. And as you know from School at 2030, we want parents to be involved more because facts speak for themselves. And students whose parents show an interest and support them in the learning process, they do develop self-confidence and motivation in the classroom. They have better social skills and classroom behavior. And here you go. As teachers, we all know that that's something what we need in order to achieve our goals. They also, it's proven that they have higher test scores and they are more likely to choose to pursue their further education. So, yeah, with distance learning, of course, it gained another weight of, topicality for this problem, and parent support was crucial in the time when we were teaching our pupils from distance. And for this problem also, I have three viewpoints. I, as an English teacher, I'm also a parent to two primary pupils, and as a colleague to other teachers who face similar problems what I faced. And another thing what sort of is related to this problem of parents is a very wide variety of communication tools and the ever-changing expectations and roles in the school context. And I'm sure you also have heard the question from parents or the question from teachers, who has to call first? Should the parent call me first, or should I call first if there is a problem? The main keywords, parental engagement. Here I have to clarify that what do I mean in my presentation and in my research as a parental engagement. We all know the 6 involvement forms by Professor Epstein, and it's the volunteering, cooperation with community, parenting, and decision-making. And another 2, which is communication and communication, the mind block, communication and learning at home. And these 2, the last 2, I was focusing more. Basically, parental engagement through the communication between teacher and parent, and providing information and tools for parents to facilitate the learning at home. And the next 2 keywords, students, involvement, and learning process. So these are the key components for us teachers to reach our goals in the lesson and weekly and yearly. And more about those, I will speak in the next slide. And primary school, the age group in the primary school would be the crucial one to establish long-term partnership between parents and teachers, to establish good learning habits. And of course, as we know, in the primary school, in the year 1, year 2, year 3, parents are most involved because it's their young children. Right, so yeah. For you, I'm sure you have already your ideas and you have lots of experience in dealing with parents. And if you don't mind, if you just want to move and use the chat, maybe you would like to answer the first statement. There's a statement. There are lots of parents who are not willing to participate, engage, or involve. Would you say it's true or false? Unfortunately, I don't know, for some reason I can't see the chats. And I won't be able to maybe read, but if you just drop your ideas now, it would be interesting to read afterwards. But anyway, we'll get back to that. And also the second task, fill the gap. Are responsible for a successful relationship between parents and school. What do you think? Who would be the responsible? Maybe parents, school, or teachers? So yeah, if you could just drop your ideas in the chat box. But meanwhile, I'll move on. Right, yeah. Okay, these were my findings in theory in the research paper. First of all, what's important for the student involvement in classroom? It's always the focus on the task. Good learning habits, adapting requirements of the task, and of course, pulling yourself together as a student, the skill to do it, and anger management. And student involvement at home, of course, it's his or her commitment to homework, sense of responsibility, and organizing and planning skills. And that student involvement makes or creates the productive and effective learning process, which is active, not passive. It would be in positive microclimates. It would be easy to manage classroom management and with high motivation and self-efficacy. With regards to parental engagement, yes, I found that the biggest influence on students' achievements wouldn't be the strict control of homework or strict supervision by parents, but actually it would be parents giving very specific learning skills to their children. For example, how to learn the poem by heart, how to drill the words better, or reading together, or telling them, or introducing some reading strategies. It sounds like, all professional, but it would be very simple, basic involvement at home for parents and their children. And the main verbs in this process would be support, provide, maintain, and develop. And most of it, it is basically positive attitude towards the school, an interest in school, self-efficacy, self-concept, I as a pupil, I as a student, developing knowledge of self-directed learning, and of course this emotional self-regulation, which is very, very sort of important and big in the first years of schooling. And the last one was, it has cut off, but basically it's about the other learning or curriculum related activities. So what we need from parents is their support, maintaining and developing attitudes and the skills. And what's the problem? And this was really an eye-opener for me. And it turned out that family members actually lack self-confidence and competence to get involved. They need more knowledge and skills of how to support and engage. And also a lot of my parents, my school parents, my student parents, weren't aware of actual benefits of their engagements. And therefore, the gap between expectations at school and at home it just gets wider and wider, and the student becomes no, a student ends up living in two different, totally alienated worlds. And it results in low engagement by parents. And but with regards to the school, school often has a lack of strategic communication system. And if there is one, then it's not very flexible, or it's not, working, or, made working. And teachers, if they don't have guidelines and examples and models of how best to establish this productive relationship with parents, they end up using their own energy and time resources to create one. But of course, as we all know, teachers run out of these two resources, time and energy. They run out of them very quickly. So it often becomes that the way teachers see parents is rather as a problem instead of a valuable resource. And that's what I saw, really was a problem. So what to do next? Within my research paper, I set the goal to establish an effective, which would be regular and meaningful, that is useful for both sides, communication system between teacher and parents. And those principles in green, as you see, would be based on effective communication. And specifically in this school environment. And this communication form should be in written form. There should be emphasis a lot on positive. It should be engaging in its formats. It should be easy to read, and it should be informative. So I took an action. I was working on creating these written messages, which would be like a brief and regular newsletters, but in tangible form. And I based them on this classification of what they need to do at home, what I need to see in the classroom, and what do parents need to know to facilitate the learning process. So at the end, I created the 4 notes. One would be reminder, one would be note to parents, then student of the day, and star students, like a rewarding one. That would be the note system. I went back to basics and used my pen. I had reprinted previously printed out these little notes, which I just filled after each classroom. Easy to use. Also, of course, we had to switch on to the digital notes, and these would be examples of like reminder, informative messages with regards to what has happened at class, or what parents should know. And the question, of course, did it work, or does it work? And throughout my research and this process, I saw that parents were very grateful to receive something which would inform about their children and their successes as a class. They ended up discussing the events with their children at home. Of course, it leaves an impact on pupils' self-esteem, self-efficacy, and confidence. And students felt important to be the messengers, and they were eager to perform well in the lessons so that they earn a note to take to their parents. And for me as a teacher, it was easy to execute, and once the system was in place, and I was happy to do that because it gave me some nice emotions as well. And yes, I did see some progress in the classroom management. It was my major challenge after a few months of starting the teaching. And I could see that these notes improved the classroom microclimates and students' behavior.
Elena,
And,
I'm really sorry to interrupt you a little bit, but we have 1-2 minutes to finish, yeah?
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is a little glimpse of parents, servants. I am close to end anyway. And as we can see, the reality of parents is that A-class is not convenient for them. And unfortunately, they reach the phone when facing the problem only, when it's already a problem. But yeah, you can see the most efficient forms of parent engagement. And obstacle number one for both parents and teachers really is the time and energy resources, and especially the efficient guidelines of how to do it best, both for teachers and for parents. And as teachers, we should provide information for parents of how to help their children. And yes, and after the research, I really saw that there are positive changes in my classroom, in the learning process, after I have used the communication form with parents. And yes, I can say that reaching parents did let me and allow to meet goals in the English lesson. Thank you.